What's going on, my friends? Cubs fan Han here for another video, and I'm sorry I'm going to be talking a bit quietly today. As you can tell, I sound like crap because I am sick, and on pretty much any other YouTube day, I would just say, I don't think I'm going to film a video tonight. I'm going to go rest. But The Mandalorian came out today. I just simply cannot miss giving you guys my unfiltered first reaction to this first episode of the first ever live action Star Wars TV show. It is safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, that I am beyond hyped for where this is going to go. This is going to be a spoiler reaction. If you have not seen the show, I definitely recommend that you wait unless you don't care about spoilers. But I think I've waited long enough that now we can kind of dig into the full unfiltered reaction and everything that I loved about the first episode of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's Mandalorian. First of all, can we just get a moment to appreciate these two fine gentlemen who have brought us so much good stuff in their careers. I trusted them, and I believed that they would bring us something that we could all unite together and enjoy. And I think that's probably the number one thing I love about this show right now is not how I feel about it, but how you guys feel about this. And I'm sure that there's some people out there that aren't as big of a fan of this as me, or who maybe had critiques, etc. I have critiques, but maybe there's some people who didn't like it, but pretty much for the most part, every single person I am seeing online react to this is reacting to it positively, and it just feels good to be a Star Wars fan right now. It feels really good to see the fandom come together and enjoy something this much. I've been craving a unified fan base that can just come together and high five and love Star Wars. And that is what we've got right now. And I couldn't be happier about that. Now let's talk about the Western feel that this show has. It is described as a Western, and I think that we got a lot of awesome elements in the show that made it feel that way. All from the cinematography to the soundtrack, which in my opinion is brilliant, by Ludwig Göransson, who won an Oscar for his work on Black Panther. You can listen to this soundtrack, at least on Apple Music. I don't know if it's on Spotify, I would guess it is, but I listened to it after the episode probably 2 or 3 times through on Apple Music, and I just think it's an amazing soundtrack that really gives it a very unique Star Wars feel, but also a old Western feel. It's a very, very nice marriage that I think fits very well. The show has a lot of very subtle nostalgia in it so far. Everything from when he's walking into the first cantina on the cold planet he's on at the very beginning, just the noises of that cantina and kind of the way that all of that happens, which, by the way, feels a lot like A New Hope to me when they first walk into the cantina, how everything's going on. You walk in, you're kind of unnoticed. People notice you, there's something out of place, and then it just all hell breaks loose. I love the feel of that. And then there's also these little subtle nods to other parts of the universe. Notably, you may have blinked and you missed it, the nod to the holiday special, where the first character that Pedro Pascal's Mandalorian, who we still don't know about, and I'll talk about this, he takes him and he mentions how he wants to celebrate Life Day with his family, which is a total nod to the holiday special. 39 minutes is a bit shorter than I wanted from this episode. I do apologize. In the middle of the video, I'm going to take a drink because I'm struggling with my voice, and I hope you guys forgive me for that, but I have to give you my reaction to this. 39 minutes is a bit shorter than I wanted, but I'm also really, really glad that it was only 39 minutes because I felt like the pacing was very good. I felt like it went from scene to scene very sensibly, and there wasn't a second wasted. It was one of those blink and you miss it kind of shows, and so I'm really, really glad that they didn't add 20 minutes to this just to hit that hour mark and give us 20 minutes of fluff. There wasn't a minute wasted. And so while I would love to have hour-long episodes, I will take 39 minutes of unwasted time versus an hour episode with 20 minutes of wasted time. I love how many questions I have right now at the end of this, and we'll talk a little bit more about what those are, but I think we already have a lot of questions going into this. We have some questions answered in this, and the episode leaves us with a lot of questions. Seeing him upgrade his armor was awesome. It kind of felt like one of those video game scenes, where you're walking up to the spot. There's this spot where you can go and get cool stuff. All right, I finished this mission. Here's my loot. Let's upgrade. I want to upgrade the cosmetic on my shoulder, which is what he does. And speaking of questions, who is this female Mandalorian character who's got kind of like these, Darth Maul looking spikes on her head? Like, is that some kind of nod to when Maul was the crime boss? Something like that? I'm not sure, but very, very intrigued by who she is and what her connection to the Mandalorian is. The main character, again, we'll just refer to him as the Mandalorian. I'm assuming the Mandalorian refers to Pedro Pascal's character, who is still unnamed. We learn that he is some kind of foundling. What is a foundling? It seems like some kind of maybe Mandalorian orphan during the Clone Wars time, but it also made me think, was that Mandalore that we saw? We saw the flashbacks, that whole sequence was really awesome, but could he be an adopted Mandalorian? Could she be the real Mandalorian who found him and took him in? So many questions. And then let's talk about IG-11. I loved IG-11. I really wanted to see more of this droid. Now, at first, my thinking was, oh my gosh, we killed IG-11 right at the end. I am really sad that we're not going to see him again. But then I did see a promo picture that shows Pedro Pascal's character with the female character that's coming later that we didn't see in this episode, and IG-11 there. And so I do think somehow IG-11 will come back into play. Now, speaking of IG-11, it makes a lot of sense to me that Pedro Pascal has distaste for droids, which you saw both on the ice planet when he calls the transport and he doesn't want the one with the droid, and how he reacts to IG-11. But he subtly accepts that he's going to work with him. That makes sense because of his upbringing with the Clone Wars. He might have distrust for droids, but I'm hoping that can be kind of a plot device to tell a story about Pedro Pascal's upbringing, the Mandalorian's upbringing in the Clone Wars, and maybe how he gains trust with IG-11. It does look like he's probably going to come back, and I hope that Pedro Pascal brings him back on purpose, because that droid was awesome. All of the combat, how 360 all of his limbs were. It was like this rotating turret all over the place, and he was totally hardcore. I thought that was awesome. And the gag with the self-destruct thing, how he was just constantly telling him, okay, no, you don't need to self-destruct. No, you don't need to self-destruct. I thought it was so funny. I really like how the Mandalorian is not a perfect character, but he's still really, really awesome. He is very, very combat ready. He's absolutely trained. We are not joining him at the beginning of his journey, but he's still imperfect. He gets taken by the blurgs, and he has to have the Ugnaught character save him, who we'll talk about here in just a second. He struggles in a number of ways, and so he shows that he's human, Mandalorian, whatever, however we want to say that. He's not too OP, but he's still pretty freaking awesome. The Ugnaught character was definitely very well timed in this. I really, really like how he keeps saying, I have spoken. It's like he's God or something. I don't know. It's just really funny. And I thought his character has a lot of intrigue to him. He seems to be really anxious to get these guys off of his planet, which makes me wonder, what does he know about this twist at the end, which is what I'm probably the most interested in. All right, let's talk about the twist at the end. I love this for so many reasons. It is the last thing I was expecting to see a little baby Yoda. Now, this to me is extremely exciting on so many fronts, because I really feel like the show is telling us that this is the mystery we're going to be diving into. And in all of Star Wars lore, Yoda's species is one of those mysteries that has just never been addressed. In canon, we basically just have Yoda and Yaddle, who are both Force-sensitive beings from this mysterious species. We have one more in Legends. If I remember right, I think it was in KOTOR. He was also a Jedi Master, kind of a darker green. I forget his name. I'm not looking it up right now, but you lore nerds out there will know. But that's not canon anymore. But still, even outside of canon, we have, only one additional example of this that I have ever been aware of. And so there's just so much mystery behind this. And every example we have, both in canon and legends that I'm aware of, has been Force sensitive. And something else to think about is the scene that we had in the room with the stormtroopers and the Mandalorian when he gets the bounty officially. What the mood was like in there with that ex-Imperial scientist and the stormtroopers and everything. And everybody just seems so uneasy and tense. What are they up to? Why do they want this little 50-year-old baby Yoda, who's obviously not Yoda, but we'll just call it Baby Yoda, Baby Grandpa Yoda, Baby 50-year-old Yoda? What do they want with him? What are they interested in? And it's got to have some kind of connection to the Force, maybe even to the Jedi. Maybe there's a planet of them somewhere. What is this going to lead to? And what is the Mandalorian going to do about it? You can tell at the end he's very defensive of the thing. He's like, nope, you're not killing it. You're gone, to his IG-11 friend. And at the end of the episode, you see him reaching out as if to touch it, which makes me think, does he just have a soft spot for little kids? Does he just think it's cute? Or has he seen the species before? Does he know something about it? Did he have some kind of interaction with Yoda, perhaps? Or does somebody he know have some kind of history with Yoda? Something like that is very intriguing to me. And so where do we go from here? It is wide open. There are so many questions. Who is this female Mandalorian? Who is the Mandalorian? What does this Yoda species have to do with anything? I need to know the answer to all of these, and I think it's going to connect beautifully to the rest of the universe. I'm super excited about this show. Now, again, the show was not perfect. I think that there are definitely some critiques that I could make about it, but right now, I just don't feel like doing it because I'm so hyped about this show. I'm so excited, and for today, you guys are going to have to forgive me. I'm just going to be happy about being a Star Wars fan. Damn, it feels good to be a Star Wars fan, ladies and gentlemen, and that is how I'm going to leave you. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode down in the comments below. Once again, I apologize for the raspy voice. I had to make this video for you guys regardless. I might take a little break to make the next one. Hopefully my voice is going to be recovered in 2 days because Thursday night I will be streaming Jedi Fallen Order. I cannot wait to start playing this game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always, my brothers, don't forget.
Sorry about the mess.